part of our viewing area that's already huge for tourism has history on its side too. Civil War general and 18th President Ulysses S. Grant lived in Galena for a time, and now on his 200th birthday, there's a big party in town. Tessa Flak, the director of the Galena and Grant Museum, and how fun for you, Tessa.
It is very fun.
She loves her history. We were talking about that. So you haven't been in Galena, not that long?
A little over a year. So.
Well, what surprised you best and most about the history?
You know, as a young child, I had always visited Galena, and I always knew that Ulysses S. Grant was from the area, but I didn't realize just how much history Galena actually had. We have over 9 U.S. generals just from Galena alone. I mean, it's amazing how many generals came out of Galena, but thanks to Congressman Washburn, who had Lincoln's ear, there was quite a few locals that really moved up in the ranks during the Civil War. So we're very fortunate that Galena has so much history and that we're able to share it with people from around the world.
Listen to you spout that history of Galena and just rattle off those names like you know these guys. I know you guys do that big generals party.
Yes.
For I think it's in the winter or something.
It's in November every year. We have a Christmas Galena Generals celebration.
And the authentic dress, the reenactments that those guys do, that's a really cool thing. But we have some pictures and or video of the Grant home and of the museum. They're two separate places. What are we looking at right here, Tessa?
So right now what you're looking at is Grant's home, a state historic site. As you can see, there are many different items throughout the home that actually belong to the Grant family. The family actually lived here post-Civil War. So when Grant returned in 1865, local Galena businessmen actually gave the family this home to live in. And so the family lived here until Grant became the 18th president back in 1869. So
you have tours of that home?
Yes, they do tours year-round of the home.
It has been preserved all these years.
Yes, it has.
Isn't that exciting for you to see?
It is very exciting. I mean, the family had it through their grandchildren, but during the Depression, it was actually given to the city of Galena and eventually became part of the state historic sites. And so we're very fortunate that Galena has this and that we're able to preserve it.
Now, the other thing that's separate is the museum, which is called?
It is the Galena and U.S. Grant History Museum.
And that has things that are beyond General President Grant's
Yes, we do. We focus not only on the first people, Native Americans, as well as the driftless that Galena is well known for, but we also focus on Galena's boomtown, particularly in the 1850s. There was a lot of commerce and trade happening in Galena, a lot of people coming through. You know, between 11,000 and 15,000 people lived in the area. Today there's about 3,500. So it was a huge area for that time.
I think it's really good for people at this time right now.
Yes.
To know that these places we think of as little towns now, at one time were the center of commerce, and that with many, many thousands of more people who lived there, traveled through there. Was it a lot of it having to do with the waterways and the river there?
Yes, so we have the Galena River, which connects right to the Mississippi. And back between the 1830s to 1870s, Galena was one of the largest ports in the Midwest, between St. Louis and St. Paul, and we were shipping out grain, lead, zinc. So we made quite a bit of money on all of our exports and imports, but Galena itself really had a very busy downtown. Lots of businesses, lots of blacksmith shops, so people did a lot of farming there as well.
You could do all that shopping now. They're like, I don't know, 150 stores along Main Street there. So for the celebration, the 200th anniversary of Grant's birth, which happens to be, I think it's Wednesday, the 27th, right?
Yes, it is the 27th.
So what will be, there's the man himself with that stylish beard. That beard's back in, by the way, right? Everybody's got a beard like that. So what are you doing for the big celebration?
We are kicking off Friday at 5 o'clock at the Grant Home State Historic Site. We're going to be offering free lamplight tours of the Grant home, and you'll see portrayals of President Grant and Mrs. Grant, as well as Saturday we have our main events, which will be a pie auction at 11, a tour of Grant's pre-Civil War home that he lived in the 1860s. as well as his family. And then following that in the evening, we have our major event, which is a dinner, silent auction, a one-act play, President Grant, The Man and Patriot, which is a Illinois humanities program, with a new exhibit opening. So we're very excited for Saturday's event. It's going to be a huge celebration for Grant's bicentennial.
Well, you had me at pie auction. I'm writing that down. All the different pies. The bicentennial celebration of President Grant's birth in beautiful Galena, Illinois. You got to go. If you don't go this weekend, we can go just about any time and see those great homes and the museum. So you could go online. It's Galena
History.org.
Yeah. Yep. Tess, it's good to have you here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for that great info.